I still haven't fixed this yet. Let's see what happens.
You're listening to
The Couch Caddies,
the champion podcast of the year.
We are still the
Two
champion
guys,
podcast.
28 clubs, 0 putts given, with your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Couch Caddies. I'm Ben. I'm here with my best golfing buddy, Gunnar.
Yep.
And Kate. Kate's around here.
Super producer Kate.
She is in the house. We discussed this previously. I watched more golf this weekend than I have in a very, very long time. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Me too.
Did you play Quidditch as well?
I wish I had played some Quidditch. Yeah, noticing for people who are listening and not watching, I'm wearing a Golden Snitch t-shirt. But yeah, I watched a lot of golf this weekend. And I think it had to do with the West Coast schedule.
Oh yeah, because it was on later.
Yeah, I also didn't have to start watching it at 10 in the morning.
Oh no, I mean, they didn't even broadcast it till almost 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but I've got the Cock and I've got NBC Sports, so I just watch it whenever.
Peacock?
I've got Peacock, yeah.
NBC.
Right. Peacock.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just curious what you meant.
Yeah, so it was good. Yeah, I watched a lot of it. It was at obviously Los Angeles Country Club. I've heard a lot of mixed emotions. I thought the course was trash too. I know everybody loves it. Oh my God, it's so great. But the USGA should be played on public courses only.
Oh yeah.
It should be played on municipal court. They are the United States governing body. They are the ones. It's like the US Open. You should be able to go and play a US Open course anytime you want.
Yeah.
And they should be more responsible. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it or anything, but the things that people were saying about this golf course was just essentially that this was LA Country Club private events. This wasn't open to the public.
Oh, well, that's because they doled out X amount of tickets for the public, and then the members came in and bought them all so nobody would come.
Yeah, so it was all corporate suites.
Yeah.
And it was all corporate suites. And yeah, I think there was 4 to 6,000 tickets that were open to the public. And the country club members, I guess, got first pick and just bought them all up, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. So it just sort of was what it was. And
you think everybody who bought tickets showed up, or do you think it was kind of like a buy and keep people off our lawn?
I think it was a buy and keep people off our lawn situation. It's you see Shinnecock and there's not it's 20 deep on every hole, not just following Tiger, not just following Phil. I know Tiger did Tiger play in that one?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he did. This was a keep off my lawn situation, definitely. And it felt like that. There just wasn't any roar. You saw all of the fans sort of come up behind Ricky and Wyndham Clark on the 18th hole. And it still didn't even feel full.
Oh no, because these are the last players. It wasn't we were watching the charge, you know what I mean?
No, but even then it's so you're saying then what looked to be about 60% of the patrons left before the 18th, before Ricky and Wyndham got to the 18th hole?
Yes.
Because it was
That's
still
what it looked like.
Rory and Scheffler were the group before them.
Yeah.
And granted, they finished on 18 before Ricky and Wyndham teed off. Again, no slow play penalties.
Think about the walk up 18 with Tiger and Rory when Tiger won. Was it the Tour Championship? Yeah.
Yeah, at East Lake.
East Lake.
And that's what I was telling Kate about that.
Should look like.
Yeah, it was they security, the crowd got to the green before the players did. And the caddies got lost in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was absolute insanity. This had none of that feel. Like this had none of that USGA, like this is the people's championship,
It is.
right? And so to have that just sort of turned into like corporate tents
Yeah, but the
and
highbrows in
champagne.
LA
Yeah.
are not the people's people.
And I get it, because like you can't, like there's no parking for like 40 or 50,000 people a day there. Like I
No.
mean, it's in the middle of LA. Like it's in right, it's like Beverly Hills. It's like ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, if I had to hear the word Hollywoodland one more time, I was gonna scream.
Yeah.
It was just the air of pretentiousness all week.
Oh yeah, no, I mean those are $100 million houses around the course, like at least. It's just it's crazy.
If I had to hear marine layer one more time, I was gonna punch my TV.
I think Kate enjoyed the marine layer concept. I say we get a marine layer here in Asbury Park, and so I say marine layer a lot. People are like, "You just mean fog."
He says it often. He loves to call it a marine layer. So I totally your pain, Gunner.
Yeah, but Ben's kind of an LA boy, so it makes sense.
that's what we called it when it was cloudy. It was it's because the air off the ocean is a different temperature.
You cannot
Sure.
give him a reason
Sure.
to find it acceptable to call it that.
So yeah.
Oh no,
so,
I'm not saying it's acceptable. I'm saying Ben's pretentious, and
Oh,
he
okay,
loves
good.
this course.
I'm not. To be fair, I didn't hate the course. I still thought the course was a little bit of garbage. Like I just, yeah, like the front nine. I think at one point they were saying like the front nine played like less than 100 over par, and then the back nine played like 300 over par.
Yeah.
So it was just like a tale of two courses, which I think is interesting, but it doesn't leave anything for Sunday when with 3 hours left of the tournament, there is no chase, there is no excitement, there is no birdie or eagle opportunities. It's just like who is going to par this thing out versus who's going to screw it. Like you're basically sitting there the entire like second half of the broadcast. From about 7:30 to 10 o'clock, you're sitting there going, who's going to lose this?
Oh yeah.
Which I think it's just not like, that's not what a US Open's about.
No, and I just you had an interesting take on why it was playing the way it was.
Yeah, well, so Thursday they left the course a bit soft. We had Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele shoot course records -8. I'm not going to say 62 because it's -8 because it was par 70.
Yeah, but Ricky had 10 birds that day, and that was wild.
I know, but he also had the most bogeys all week.
Lots of bogeys.
Yeah. So he shot -8, and then I think he finished at -7.
Do we say Ricky's back?
No.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, he's in that.
I would have if you would have. If you said it, I would have agreed and I would have felt better, but I agree with it.
And the only reason let me put it this way, okay? Ricky's back. Ricky hasn't met his potential yet, though.
Oh no.
Right? Like Ricky
Still
is
the
like
best player without a major.
He's the best player without a major. Kate, now you got to say it.
Say what?
He's the best player without a major.
Oh, he's the best player without a major.
Yeah, that's Ricky
Everybody's
Fowler.
saying it.
That's what everybody's saying. So
That's what everybody's saying it.
I think he's back, which is nice. I mean, he couldn't find a putt to save his life on Sunday. When you come out and bogey number one and Rory birdies it, it's just not a good look. Like
It's a bad look.
It's just a bad look. I mean, if we go back to Thursday, it was playing soft. Everybody got after it. I was talking to you. I was like, the USGA's got to reel this in, or else it's going to be lights out -18, -24.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a good job. Like the rest of the week, they tucked all the pins. I'm not really sure they made the greens incredibly fast. And I think one of the crazier things about it is they left all the fairways between sort of 25 and 55 yards wide.
Yeah. Well, I think you know how a course will have 6 months to prepare for a major.
Yeah.
the USGA will come in, or the PGA will come in, or whoever's running the event will come in. The RNA will come in, and they'll have 6 months to prep a course. Super limited golf for the members, but the trade-off is you get a major, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're
think the USGA said, hey, we'd like to come in. We need about 6 months to really get this thing hammered in. And the members of LACC said, we'll give you about a week and a half. That's what it seemed like to me. I think they got in their own way.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, yeah. I think they're so at Congressional.
Yeah.
They're playing the US Open in 2030, I believe.
Yeah.
They're working on it right now to make sure that there's enough they're building parking lots right now.
Yeah. You can't really do that in the middle of LA. Like they would have had to have parked at UCLA and then shipped them in.
That's what they do for every other event I've ever been to.
I was gonna say, which isn't like a bad idea. Like, I mean, when we went to go see the National, PGA National, like we parked 25 minutes away and took shuttles in.
Yep.
Some corporate parking structure or whatever it was. So Thursday was like lights out, super easy. And I came up with this kind of like this weird conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to you, which is like the USGA is letting them go low so that they can say, see this, these are three, I think there's like 560-yard par 5 and Rory McIlroy is hitting an 8-iron into them. Because he's just hitting it like he's hitting it 320 in the air. It's rolling out downhill 60 yards, 40 to 60 yards, and then he's got 180 to 200 yards in. And he's just like, yeah, that's a 7 or an 8-iron for me.
Yeah, I like that take, and I would agree with it if they weren't playing the US Open at a city that roots for the Chargers and the Lakers. I think they're just idiots.
That may also be true, but I'm saying the USGA. I'm saying the USGA themselves let the scoring go high or low or whatever you want to say, so they can say, "Look, we need to roll the ball back, or we need to do some sort of." This is what I don't understand, right? They're the USGA. If they make up rules, does the PGA have to follow them?
Yes.
Right. So why don't they, number one, like the USGA and the PGA, I don't really understand how they're separate organizations still.
Well, it's like the NFL and the NFLPA. It's the same.
The Players Association?
Yeah. It's basically that.
No, I don't mean like the PGA. I don't mean like the PGA like of America. I mean like the PGA Tour. Like how?
Yeah, that's like the Players Association in this metaphor.
But they're the ones putting on all the tournaments. It's like the Players Association doesn't own the stadiums and put on the games. But like doesn't borrow the stadiums and then put on the games. Like the owners own the stadiums, put on the games, and then they pay the players.
You're expounding on my metaphor, which I was not doing.
Okay.
You're adding too much.
What I'm saying is the PGA can make a left turn at whatever it is from the USGA. The USGA wants to roll back the ball. When you have two guys breaking the record for low round at a USGA, yes, I did air quotes for people who are just listening because it's still only 8 under. It's
see Rory's lowest drive on day one was like 317.
Which again, like, so you have the fairways, like the fairways are hard and fast, and then you've got the greens super soft. Like, who did that? And they're like, oh, it's the humidity. It's like you guys have under
it's the marine layer.
They have, but they've got the green systems. They've got the air blowing whatever green system, so that it's dry. Like they can dry it out however they want. I think you're right. I think there was this aspect where it's like LA Country Club may have gone over, like the superintendent of LA Country Club, with sort of words from the board were like, hey, I'm really sorry about this, but like we're going to kind of take this into our own hands a little bit. I think after the first round of scoring, the USGA came over and was like, yeah, don't make this a disgrace. Like, we want to come back here. And if you don't do this right, we're not going to come back here.
Oh, I don't think they're going back.
I've heard that they have listed it for like 2032, that the LA Country Club themselves on their website say that it's going back there.
Oh, USGA is gonna, yeah, because they schedule these things out 15 years in advance.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go back there. I mean, to be fair, by 2032, these can all be, done with headsets inside rooms in their own houses. It might be entirely digital by then. That's the only way they're going to be able to make it be, sort of length friendly that they talk about.
And plus, PIF is going to get involved and say no.
Oh my
we'll
God,
have
yeah.
US Open somewhere else.
Yeah, sorry, we just built a course in Wichita, Kansas.
Hell yeah!
Like, it's.
Could you imagine the US Open in Kansas?
Yeah, it'd be
bro?
crazy.
Like a tornado comes through.
Sorry, we can't be here. It's tornado season. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against that. So what didn't you like about the course?
I didn't like. I know there was a lot of buried balls in the rough. I
Mhm.
do think the rough should have been thicker. There is no reason for the best players in the world to be able to get out of the rough as well as they did.
Yeah.
I mean, Ricky was obviously on TV, and he's
Like,
not a power hitter.
width of the
He was on
fairways,
TV
right?
all
Like,
the time,
yeah.
and he's punching out of the rough just fine into manageable spots.
Yeah.
You have to be punished for going into the rough, and I don't think they were. I don't
No.
think the greens were fast enough.
No.
I don't think they pinched the fairways in the right spots. I think
No.
there were too many flat areas. It just kind of looked like an elevated event.
There were
Looked
also
like.
for me, like, there were no fairway bunkers.
Oh, nowhere.
No fairway bunkers. The greens weren't fast enough. It didn't feel like a US Open. And I am the person, and I'm going to preface this, I'm the person who, like, my favorite moment in USGA history is Phil Mickelson at Shinnecock hitting a moving ball, because he knows unless he hits a 3-inch spot around the hole, it's not staying up there.
100%. The penalty is worth more than wherever that ball was going to end up.
Yeah. It's like in the USGA, it should all be about missing in the exact right spot or hitting the exact right spot.
Yep.
Because if you miss anywhere else, like, it should cost you. And I just didn't feel like that at all on Thursday. It didn't feel like that at all. Thursday, it just felt like a regular golf tournament.
Yeah, and
Right.
I think the lack of crowd really doesn't help either, because that gives them an opportunity to set standing spaces
Yeah.
so close to the fairway that it just visually changes the hole.
Yeah.
I think whoever's fault it was, I'm gonna blame LA. But
No, it's fine.
whoever's fault it was, they dropped the ball on this.
Well, I mean, it's pretty significant. Like, you have a few players, Victor Hovland, Brooks Koepka, come out and said, like, I like this golf course, I just don't like it for this.
Right. Oh,
Like,
it would have been a great golf course as a regular event.
yeah, it just comes across, and I don't remember the last event there, so I don't know why it got a USGA, especially since it seems to be the most like, they don't allow, like, billionaire celebrities to join.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like you're not Augusta. You're
Right.
not Augusta. Like, you're the LA Country Club, and, like, I get that there's a bunch of municipal court, but it's like, there are enough public courses in LA that have history, and they may not be like great tracks or great courses, but, like, there's enough where you can figure something out.
Well, get the hell out of LA. Go to
Yeah.
San Diego. Go to
Go north, go to Oregon.
yeah, go to Oregon. But even if you're going to stay in California, go to San Francisco.
Yeah, which they
You
did a
know?
couple years ago, No, I totally get that. It's just sort of like, it's just the course, like, there wasn't a single fairway bunker. I don't remember seeing a fairway bunker. Like, the rough looked rough, and I get that, like, you had a hard time going for pins once you were in the rough, like, you did have to chip out, but they were still chipping out, like,
Fine.
fine.
Well, and it's really the grass, right? And I don't know what
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of grass they're using, but we've played on,
It's Baraka
know-
or something weird. Yeah.
yeah, we've played on $25 tracks, you
Yeah.
know, that have that same effect in the rough. Your ball can't sit up just because the way the grass grows.
Yeah.
That's fine. It falls down, but and maybe we have a hard time getting out of it, but but the US Open contender doesn't.
Yeah.
They don't. They needed to be at least an inch and a half higher. At
Yeah.
least.
No, I agree.
It
I
needed
agree.
to be a death sentence.
And I think I think the scores showed that, which is Thursday, they let everybody run wild. They reined it in a little bit on Friday, but there were still movers. Saturday, it people were like, I'm trying to remember who moved a bunch, but I think Rory moved a bunch on Saturday, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, shot a 69 on Saturday. So Rory 65, 67, 69, 70. But no, so Tom Kim, yeah, had a 66 on Saturday. It seemed to do like a lot with like early morning versus sort of late night, or I guess afternoon. Sorry, early morning versus afternoon, because you see Tommy Fleetwood go out and shoot a 63 on Sunday. And it's just kind of like
Charged.
no, and he absolutely charged and he absolutely did a great job, but it's like, how?
Is Tommy Fleetwood the best player without a win?
Yeah, I mean, Tony Finau was, but now Tony Finau has like 4 or 5 wins or something ridiculous.
Oh yeah, they came in bunches.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, I don't know who's like the best player without a win who isn't like straight out of college, but yeah, I mean, Tommy Fleetwood has, and he may always will be like. He should have had the Canadian Open, and even then, like, and I hate to say it, that's kind of a soft win.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a professional golfer, but for somebody who watches golf, like, it's a soft win. Like, he's had an amazing run at the majors.
Oh yeah.
And yet he still can't even pull off like a non-designated event like in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that like it's the 5th playoff hole and it's a 72-foot, but like you had 4 playoff holes before that to bury him.
To get the job done.
Right. Plus you had like you have a birdie hole at 18.
Yeah, and then you go back to 18 and you put your ball in the stands.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think there was plenty to be done at LACC. You take a course like Bethpage Black.
Yeah.
And what does the tour come in and do? They say, oh, this is rated the hardest course in the United States.
Yeah.
Let's make the greens a 13. Let's just do that.
Yeah. No, and I get that. Like, I love that.
And that's impossible.
I still think, I think the biggest thing the USGA needs to do, I think at least they have to go to semi-private clubs.
Oh yeah.
Like the public needs an opportunity to sort of not, and it doesn't have to see how hard it is, but even if they're running like an 8 or 9 on the stimp and the fairways are 10 or 15 yards wider on every side, like it still doesn't, it's like you still get up there and you see the green undulations and you see the fairway undulations and you understand that like this dog leg left around like a 40-foot oak is tough. It's really, really tough.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to play. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That should be a rule. You should be able to go play. You can play Shinnecock. You can play Oakmont. You can play Pebble Beach. You can play Pinehurst. You can play Bethpage. I mean, you have to get there at 1 a.m. and wait in line.
Kiowa.
You can play Kiowa Island. You can play Congressional.
Yeah.
You can go and play these places.
You have to spend the money, but I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, like that, that should be the reward for having a USGA there is you get to bump your price up and be like, yeah, Tiger walked these fairways.
And do you think I look at Pebble Beach and say $700 a round isn't worth it because of the history? No, I say, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hitting 2 or 3 balls on 7 because I'm like, this is 100-yard par 3. And like, if I get a hole in one, if I get it near the hole, I'm happy. Like,
that's right.
You are not trying to hit it in the water on 18, but you do twice and you still love it.
And you love every second.
You love every second of it. It's like, that should be the history of the USGA. The USGA should be like, I think the LA Country Club is the antithesis of that. Ricky is the best player to not have a major. I agree with you. He's back. My expectations for him are always through the roof and have been for 15 years now, or not, but 10 years now. Tommy, crazy charge. Yeah. Best player without a win, which I still think is insane. I think he's got a couple wins on the European tour, but I mean, you got a breakthrough on the PGA tour. He still gets to play though. So it's not like he's losing his card or anything. You know, I mean, he still makes like however many millions of dollars a year, so good for him. I think the biggest story of the weekend, though, is Rory McIlroy.
Oh my God, Ben! Listen, if I had to hear Paul Azinger say all Rory's got to do to win this one more time, I was gonna slap him. I was gonna drive to LA and slap him.
One birdie followed by 17 pars.
Yeah, I mean,
and Tommy Fleetwood had a 63.
I don't think Rory's as good as he once was.
No, I mean, he hasn't. I mean, Wyndham Clark won. Like, you're chasing down Wyndham Clark for 17 holes.
I have a theory about this. You know why?
Why?
He's a Denver, Colorado boy, and stay blessed. Nuggets are champions. I'm just going to plug that back in here.
Okay.
And I think he carried the vibes of his city to the U.S. Open. And
yeah, no, I mean, I get that.
I think
get your
Nicole
appreciation.
had something to do with this.
But it's like, I was looking at it today, right? Like, the only difference is, right? Round 4, they both shoot a 70. Round 3, they both shoot a 69. Round 2, they both shoot a 67. Round 1, Wyndham Clark shoots a 64, and Rory McIlroy shoots a 65. You're telling me over the next 3 days, Rory McIlroy couldn't do one better than Wyndham Clark?
Oh, and his driving accuracy was nasty.
Yeah.
I'm
not trying to like take anything away from, I'm taking a little bit away from Wyndham Clark, and I apologize, because you're 29 years old. This is your second win of the year.
Yeah.
But like, where, like, and I know his name. I know his name has been around the PGA Tour for the last 5 or 6 years. Right. But where is this coming from? Like, where is Wyndham Clark's, like, where is this coming from? It reminds me of like Martin Keimer.
Yeah, this reminds me, and I can't remember his name. Shame on me for winning the Masters.
Which Danny Willett?
Danny Willett.
Yeah.
This is a Danny Willett.
Well, no, because Danny Willett doesn't even have a PGA Tour win. Like, this guy at least won a non-designated event like 3 or 4 weeks ago. You know,
I do think Danny Willett has
several.
He has several DP World Tour wins.
Yeah.
It takes too long to say. He has
I'm with you.
Several European Tour wins. But that's kind of what this reminds me of. But hey, he's a major champion, and he's, he was worth watching, at least.
No, he was. It was great to watch. I mean, imagine this, right? Imagine you were matched up with the world's most popular golfer. Oh, he won the Wells Fargo. He won the Wells Fargo. Yeah, I mean, that's a big win. That's not a designated, right? They turned that into a non-designated event or something, didn't they?
Right.
Is that a Quail Hollow? Where'd they put that? I don't know why I'm still looking this up.
Quail Hollow, you can play.
Yeah. Bay Hill, you can play.
Bay Hill.
Yeah, I don't really get this. So, I just don't remember if Wells Fargo is a designated or non-designated event. So that doesn't matter. But yeah, imagine being paired with the world's most popular golfer and being chased down by like the world's best golfer, by 2 of the world's best golfers, because guess who came in 3rd?
Bro, this was the leaderboard was so stacked with talent.
I know.
That I think what you said earlier, you almost did have to wait for somebody to lose it, if not just hold on.
Yeah. And Scotty Scheffler couldn't buy a putt.
Oh, no. No, but that was Rory's problem.
Yeah.
He couldn't buy a putt either.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only good thing about Ricky Fowler dropping back to 5th place on the 18th hole is that I won $16. because
Mhm.
I put $5 on Tommy Fleetwood to place top 5.
Oh, and he gave you that.
Yeah. So we paid for my bets for the weekend, so that was good.
Nice.
But other than that, it's like you see Ricky Fowler bogey the first hole, and I was just like, he's got it. They bogeyed the first hole, and then I want to say,
Well, he had 7 bogeys and 2 birdies, I think, on the last day.
yeah, yeah. I just want to see if it was who shoots a 75? Like nobody else shot 75 in the top 10. Yeah, I think it was the 8th hole. Yeah, I think we had just gotten back. It was the 8th hole. Nope, sorry. It was the 4th hole. And he just like left it like 40 yards short of the green. He didn't even make it up the hill. It's a par 3, 233 yards. I'm just sort of like, oof. You bogey one. No, sorry, you par 1. Like you have to save 1. You
Yeah.
bogey 2. And then it like he just looked like he was in trouble from the get-go. And everybody else is like, well, the front 9's easy. And he had nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, is there anybody else you want to mention? Any notables?
No, I'm just going to shout myself out for making Ricky my dark horse pick, and that was looking really good for 3 days.
It's looking so good. It was looking obnoxiously good. You see, I posted that PGA couldn't do math. I mean, the USGA couldn't do math, so I posted that on our Instagram. That was a lot of fun. It was bad. Yeah. I guess we're gonna just recap. Didn't love the course. Didn't love the
No,
fans.
definitely hate the fans.
Thought the golf definitely could have been better.
I
It's
mean,
just like
this was a group of people who, in a 5-year period, have thought that Philip Rivers and
oh my
LeBron
God.
James were the truth. This is what I can't stand about LA.
I think it's Matt, what's his name, isn't it?
Who?
Quarterback now is Matt, who's played on he played on the Detroit Lions forever.
Oh, Matt Stafford. That's
Yeah.
on the Rams fans. I like the Rams a little bit, so I'll
Okay.
let them go on that. But
So yeah, let's end this segment quickly. Course was fans were no. I think the thing is like I didn't in a USG Open, you want these guys battling for par. And I think like this year, it just felt like they were sort of happy, like settling for par. They weren't like battling for par.
no, you have to fight. You have to
Yeah.
set par and be okay with the bogeys in the U.S. Open.
Yeah. And it just didn't feel like that. It felt like it felt like throughout they were able to go for birdies and then were settling for pars. And even though they weren't getting the birdies because the pins were so like tight to edges and like in impossible places. What did you think of that 81-yard par 3?
Oh, I kind of liked it because I didn't realize how sideways it was going to be.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of you'll go out to a course, be like, oh, this is a hitter's course, or oh, this is a darts, we got to play
Yeah.
darts out here.
Yeah.
That was definitely, and I prefer the dart holes, the dart courses, just because I'm not a long player anyways. So that's kind of what my game has to be.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that hole. I liked everybody's attack at it, and I liked that you could miss by 3 feet or even a foot in the landing zone and be stuck on top of a hill. And I love watching pros basically make trick shot putts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was this, right? It was 81 yards, and I think it was like 8. That part of the green was 8 yards wide, so it was like 12 feet on either side. But the nice thing is that it had a backdrop. It had like a backboard.
Yeah.
So like if you landed the green and like it still could bounce out a little bit and then roll back towards the hole. So like it wasn't just sort of like you have to hit this exactly or you're dead to rights because it was on the backboard. It then made that putt really hard.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back from this short, whatever this is, we'll talk about the rest of golf.
It's time for us to put down our bag and hear from our sponsors.
Do we have any sponsors yet?
Not yet.
All right. Since we don't have any sponsors, Kate, what did you think of the golf this weekend?
I thought it was all the things you guys just said.
Best producer. That's producing. That's top-notch work, Kate.
I was bummed to have missed Justin Thomas's outfits that were posted on Instagram because I liked Saturday and Sundays, but we didn't get to see him.
Yeah,
That's true.
because he shot an
He
81.
was sucking.
Did he wear the pink pants the first day as planned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he wore the pink pants as planned the first day, but he didn't get to wear, he didn't get to wear Saturday or Sunday outfits.
It's a shame.
Yeah, there was a I think he tweeted out that him and Max Homo were drinking some rosé together. I guess they were sharing a house and they were going to go on YouTube. They were going to go on YouTube live and start making their own commentary on it.
Oh yeah, because they were sick of hearing Marine Layer.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Now to your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
I can't. For some reason my camera got flipped and I can't figure out how to do it.
Oh, we'll figure it out. Okay, so whoa, hey, that's your face again. Welcome back to the Couch Caddies. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to talk about the US Open anymore until next year, the USGA Championship.
I love it.
Okay, we're gonna do a
this year,
little.
but hey, question for you?
Yeah.
Did you notice a tone change when they were talking about the live guys? Like Dustin Johnson was like one of the guys.
Yeah,
you know, all
I
of
still
a
think it's
sudden.
great. Him and Patrick Reed were still wearing their 4 aces shenanigans.
Oh, I think they have to
They
because
have
all
to?
of them are doing it. Yeah, all of them do it.
Well, Brooks
Sergio
doesn't.
Garcia had a chip in,
Yeah,
and they were like showering him with praise over this chip in.
Oh,
and
no,
I was
yeah, they
like,
have
what
to.
is going
Yeah.
on? You didn't even like him when he was on the tour. What are you doing?
That's exactly right. That's 1,000% right. Which is like we've hated you for nearly 2 decades.
Yeah, we've hated Sergio Garcia and Patrick Reed
Yeah.
since the day they joined. And what are you talking about?
Yeah. Now they're like, oh, what a great job they're all doing.
Oh, wow. I mean, he's always been a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
Not really.
Did you hear that he had to qualify for this on his own? We don't know why. Why would he have to do that?
All right.
Just absolute insanity. All right, let's get to a little bit of the news. This is the most important news that I thought, which was Jay Monahan did not come to the USGA Invitational. He had a medical scare, but nobody wants to say what it was.
Yeah, he's fake. He's spooked.
He's spooked. I was gonna say what, like, is like his they chewed him out, so like he took it to heart.
Oh yeah, Grayson Murray said he should quit. So he's like, I'm sick this week.
Yeah, I think that's basically what happened. It's like, I've got a doctor's note. I don't like
yeah, you did give out a doctor's note.
If something terrible happened to Jay Monahan, like I will walk this back. But I don't believe something did. I think it was just sort of like, well, this isn't a PGA Tour event, so I don't have to be there.
Oh, if something happened to Jay Monahan and it was terrible, I will be the biggest conspiracy theorist on it.
You think so? You think he like ate a sandwich like with some of the live guys and now like he's got food poisoning?
Oh no, like he's gonna come back. I'm gonna see if somebody chopped his hands off. Like that's how deep I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
We're not talking about rolling the ball back. We're talking about he's just trying to. Yeah, I don't. This live PGA thing is just. It's gonna like it. I was with you. I thought it was so weird that they got a week off from it.
Weird.
It's so weird that they were like, well, this is the USGA champion. This is the US Open. So we're not going to talk about the PGA Tour. Meanwhile, it's NBC, all the same announcers, all the same camera guys, all the same on course guys. And they just are like, we're going to pretend this didn't happen. No one knows what's going on.
And oh, there's Sergio and Patrick Reed. This field really is the best players in the world.
I know. Yeah. I mean, Brooks Koepka makes the cut, but does terribly. Did he? He made the cut, right?
Yep. Brooks was in it. Bryson was in it.
Yeah. It's just sort of
Mhm.
like, well, I think you won on points.
Oh yeah, so I bet all of our players, all 6 of them, to place top 30.
Yeah.
And sure as shit they did.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got Tommy Fleetwood, but other than that, I think the next 3 were yours, and then mine 2 finished. Bryce and Brooksy rounded out our top 6, and like I said, our dark horse made it. I think me and Kate, the U.S. Women's Open is this week at Trump National in Bedminster, New Jersey.
Actually not. I looked it up. You were right that first time with the,
Ultrasol?
yes, that is the name of the golf course. It's in Springfield. It's not
Yeah.
Bedminster.
Oh, it's not
I don't
Bedminster.
think it's associated with Trump at all.
Oh, even better. So we're
Yeah.
going to Baltrazal.
Baltrazal's
I was
nice.
corrected
Trump, there's a
yesterday.
Trump National Bedminster.
Yeah, there is. It's where Liv is playing at the end. Which Liv is playing there in August.
Yeah.
So we may go there again. We may go up there to see Liv in August if they still
Oh,
exist.
you should. I'll be honest with you. It don't matter the affiliation. Those courses are nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, the scores. You spent a lot of time at Doral, so I know you know.
I spent a lot of time at Doral.
Yeah. I wanted to get into this because I came up with this idea on how we can save golf.
Yeah.
Right. And let's sort of get into like the Liv, PIF, PGA thing for a while. Nobody knows how it's going to turn out. Are they going to get rid of Liv? Are they going to have and I meant to do this last week and it just totally slipped my mind. So we were discussing this, like, how would you save the PGA Tour? How would you make this all happen? Or is it just going to be the PGA Tour all over again? Are they going to do teams? What's happening?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm before I go into my like 5-minute tirade, I thought I'd ask you.
Not
you wrote
asking me,
notes.
so I definitely think Gunnar should answer that question.
I thought it was like a retort. I thought it was like a teaser question. You
Be
know
like,
what I mean?
no,
Like,
Ben, tell us how.
oh yeah. That guy jumps high. How high is it? Here's what I think. All separate tours. There's going to be one funding source. Okay.
Yeah.
So all separate tours kind of working in conjunction, like the PGA, DP World, WGC had, there for a long time.
Yeah.
All working together. You can mingle interchangeably. I think if you want to have a PGA Tour card, you have to play X amount of events like it's always been on the PGA
Yeah.
Tour.
Mhm.
If you want a European Tour card, you have to play X amount of events. I don't know if that's going to really work with Liv, but I think that they should add another team event. We have the Ryder Cup, we have the President's Cup. I think they should add maybe a World Cup. I don't know.
I was
And
thinking,
then
a World Cup. That'd be cool.
and then I think that they should welcome the Live guys back on both DP and the PGA Tour and say, yeah, you can come play in these. Maybe not the elevated events. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how they set that up. Or they're going to scratch the elevated events, make one big thing, and call it the Saudi Tour. And I don't know. Maybe it's all one big of
Sponsored
one big
by
tour.
Blood Money LLC.
Maybe
Like,
I don't know.
I think they should keep the PGA Tour for like posterity's sake. I think they're going to. I think all the guys that are on the PGA Tour and European Tour and all those guys should stick around. What I would love to see is something a little bit more like Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
And we've discussed this already, where it's like the manufacturers already have their teams. Like you're a TaylorMade guy. You're in the TaylorMade commercials. Rory, Colin Morikawa, Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, like Dustin Johnson. You've got Srixon now, which is like Brooks Koepka, Mark Leishman, Keegan Bradley. You've got Callaway, which is Patrick Reed, Phil Mickelson, Nike. Basically you have like 10 teams like that.
Mm-hmm.
Titleist, Cobra, Srixon, TaylorMade, all those guys. And and like, is it Mizuno XXIO Zio? How do you pronounce? Is that like how you pronounce it?
Zaya, yeah.
Yeah.
Mira,
Wilson, yeah, Mura, all those guys.
Anma.
Yeah, and basically like each team, right? Like, and again, there's relegation. So you've got like 10 teams in the top, you've got 10 teams in like a second tier, like you can have Vice or Bridgestone or whatever. These guys try like to start manufacturing clubs and picking up players. All right. So you've got 10 to 15 guys on a team, 10 guys can play in events.
Yeah.
Those time slots, instead of it being like decided by the PGA Tour, it's basically like every 2 hours you get one time slot, so or two time slots, so you get to pick where your guy goes. So you get to like, okay, it's easier for this guy to go out in the morning, and it'll flip flop the next day for Friday, and then again
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday will be top to bottom,
Yeah.
or bottom to top, going out first to last. But it just sort of gives it, like, for me, the reason I want to do this is like, you're going to have individual points, you're going to have manufacturer points, but then for the real like gearheads and nuts and bolts guys,
which is like the live model basically for
yeah.
score.
Yeah, for scoring. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. I mean, it's like Formula One, right? Like the individual racer wins, but if they're on Team Mercedes, like Mercedes gets manufacturer points. And at the
Yeah.
end, they get like however many millions of dollars of bonus for being like the team with the most like team points. But
Yeah.
what it does is like it lets the guys who love cars or like the guys who love golf get to dive into what the technology is.
Yes.
And like imagine getting to know like on a weekly basis the head engineer of Titleist and being inside the van. I know they do like little bits and pieces of it, but like it would just bring that in a lot more. And I think it's easy. Like these guys already have contracts with the top manufacturers, but like imagine then if like you're like, oh, like maybe we can trade or loan or whatever. Like Spieth's not doing great. Maybe we'll like loan him to like Vice Golf and like the next tier down, which is basically Corn Ferry.
Yeah.
And let him get some like regular starts down there, like get some wins under his belt, and then we'll bring him back up. There's 15 players to a team, 10 per tournament. So you get like, say there's 12 teams,
Mhm.
it's still 120 guys out there, 100 guys out there, which is sort of a little bit more than 70, but less than 150. Right. And
Yeah.
then you've got 5 reserves so that those guys aren't playing 49 weeks a year.
I dig it.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you take the live model, blast it out, and then like you said, fine tune it to where it resembles something like Formula One and Premier
Yeah.
League soccer.
Well, it's like, imagine if the high flyers were just Callaway Golf.
Oh, that'd be great.
Imagine if
It
the
would
four,
keep it in the keep it in the golf realm.
imagine if the 4 aces were Titleist. Imagine if Smash GC was Srixon.
Oh yeah.
And instead of having like 30 teams of 4, 24 teams of 4, you have 10 teams of 10.
I knew we were leaving one out. Ping.
Yeah, Ping. Yeah. I wrote them. To be fair, I wrote down my top 10 teams. So it would be Titleist, TaylorMade, Callaway, Ping, Cobra, PXG, Mizuno, Zizio, Srixon, and Wilson.
We should on the next one draft the best manufacturers. We should do a manufacturers draft. Just you and me.
Okay.
Make a draft of the best. Put a league together of a team of manufacturers together. Put it out as a poll.
Yeah.
We'll see who has the best.
But then you, like I said, you tell Bridgestone to start making clubs, and you tell Vice to start making clubs, and you know
Bridgestone
what I mean?
Bridgestone makes clubs.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Or like Hanma, and then you say basically like if your team is in the top 2 of the Corn Ferry, your whole team moves up. And like say like Srixon and Cobra come in the bottom 2, they move down.
Yeah. Relegation.
Yeah, exactly. And all of your players move down.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's interesting because my big thing with all of this is like, I love when they do course architecture. I love when they get into the gear. Like, I love knowing what's in the bag, and you may not have to use all the clubs, but like say you have to use like 80% of their clubs.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is impossible. So, yeah. So that's my idea on how to say. I just think it'd be more interesting because again, I think like, relegation.
I love it.
Yeah. Let's talk to somebody. What are you doing this? What'd you do this week in golf?
Um, well, we went out for Father's Day, played the par 3.
Nice. Where'd you go?
Uh,
Just Headmaster's Pub?
Yep.
Sperryville 9, I guess they renamed it or something.
No, they renamed it Wicked Sticks or something
Sounds
recently.
gross.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And that's it. Oh, we
Cool.
played putt-putt. Play a little bit of putt-putt. What
Nice,
are you
nice.
gonna do?
How was
right?
your Father's Day?
It was good.
Yeah.
Busy. Yeah.
Good.
We have a new collegiate wood bat team in town.
In Culpeper?
The Culpeper
nice.
Cavaliers. They play over at the high school.
Does
So
LeBron James get drafted for them first?
yeah.
Okay.
But he threw himself
Who you hate?
he threw himself down on the grass and claimed that somebody poked him in the eye and cried about it. So they had to start the game before
They
he
had
was done.
to, they had to airlift him out. They had to bring in a
Yeah.
helicopter to bring him to
Yeah.
they had to back him out. I think I quit my job today to become a caddy.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I did.
Damn.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Now I just need to get a bigger couch.
You need to caddy a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'll go pro as a caddy in like 10 or 15 years.
Oh, pro caddies rock.
Yeah. What's Gavin doing in 10 years?
Playing the hopes.
Yeah. Maybe he'll ask me to, be on the bag for a couple of them.
Oh, he won't ask me, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, he likes me. He likes me sometimes more than you on the golf course.
He likes everybody more than me on the golf course.
That might be true. All right.
If you like saddled his bag up to a donkey, he would listen to the information from that donkey more than he would listen to information from me.
I don't like. I feel like not you, but I feel like most people, if they had donkeys that carried your golf bags around, that'd be the best golf course
I'm
ever.
just saying that donkey would like be screaming the way they do. You know what I mean? And he'd turn around and be like, "Yeah, I do think the breeze is going to play an effect on this." I think that's.
He'd be like, "No, Dad. The donkey says it's a cup and a half to the right."
Yeah, right. I know what I'm doing.
Has school golf picked up yet?
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we were there. He was there today.
Is he still playing well?
Holes. Yeah.
Was he still a 6 or a 7, or is he getting down?
Down. Yeah, he's what is he, a 4.5 now?
Wow. Well, no, I mean, I think the last time I asked was like 6 months ago. He was like a 6. So
yeah,
from
He's 4.5,
what's
right?
is he playing like 6,500 yards or?
Yeah, he plays the men's tees.
Yeah, so it's like 65, 67.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
Yep, he's just doing fine.
Yeah, no, sounds awesome. I'm gonna get out of here. I got ice. We've got ice cream to eat.
I am. Have fun with that.
I'm going to. You have a wonderful night, Gunner.
Well, you too.
Talk to you
See you,
next
Kate.
week.
Bye, Gunner.
You've been listening to
The Couch Caddies.
Remember, we're just two guys, 28 club, 0 putts given.
So bad.
I gotta get it, chick. I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change it.
You should go up to like random people and just be like, "Can you say this line for me?" and then stitch them together.
We haven't even made the lineup yet, so we've got to figure out what the line is.
We need to get Chat GPT. That's
Agreed.
what we need to do. We need to get Chat GPT and then have it make an intro song.
I'll work on that. Good night, Gunner.
Night.